Don't knock on an open door. I wish someone had said that to me years ago. Years ago. Because for a long period of time, I was seeking answers, trying to find success, going through all type of self-discovery processes, putting a lot of time and energy, searching to discover myself, looking for ways in which I could be able to provide for my family, be able to take care of my mother, be able to do something that was me. Listen to me. Do something that was me. Something that I loved, something that gave my life a sense of significance, something that I would enjoy doing 7 days a week, something that I love so much that I would do it for nothing. But because I love it so much, I would always want to do my best at it because it's something that I do. It's who I am, and I just want to be awesome at it. You have something like that? My cousin Boo, who made his transition, he loved to cook, so he cooked. He cooked, and boy, when he cooked, when Boo cooked, angels stopped flapping their wings. And it's, uh-oh, Boo's in the kitchen. Y'all stop that, Gabriel. Y'all need to hush back there. Boo cooked it, don't interrupt now. Boy, Boo can cook. Oh my goodness, I miss him so much. And stop knocking on an open door. All my life, when I look back, because I did not recognize and use my gift in a different way. I didn't value it. And you know why I didn't value it? Because I didn't believe in it. I did not believe in it. And as a result, I did not use it. I did not use it to serve at a higher level, to make a greater impact. And because I did not use that which was me, I paid a price. I ended up doing things that it was not me. Working on jobs, it was not me, and I knew it. I just go in there to make some money. We were born to do a special work. You were born to do a special work. You are here for a reason, to do the greater work. Not just work for a living, but to make a difference with your life. And it just got me just reflecting, Mr. Leroy Washington, who had an impact on my life, and I got a call that Patsy, his oldest daughter, passed. I remember Patsy, wonderful, wonderful young lady. And I just thought about the fact that we all have an expiration date. All of us are going to leave here. Nobody has figured out how to get out of here alive. And so, stop knocking on an open door, Athea Grant said to me. And I'm about to do an event with her in the UK virtually. Let us be clear. I spoke in Hong Kong last night, and China, and several other countries with Kim Wee virtually. It was fascinating. All the tools we need in order to become successful. In fact, I should be able today, I might get a recording of the last time I was there, and I will share that with you. It was quite an incredible, magnificent experience. But here's what is very important, is to take the time. and ask, what is it that I love most? And what is it that people compliment me on that I might have dismissed, that I might have not thought was no big deal to me because it came so naturally, it came so easily? That is my gift, that's my superpower, but I dismissed it. What is that? What does that look like? For years, I did not recognize that my ability to communicate, to reach people, to make people feel good, to inspire them, to uplift them, to give advice, to make them laugh, to motivate them, I didn't think that was no big deal. I just did that, like sleeping, making people laugh, selling wolf tickets while shooting pool, playing chess, playing bid whist, playing cards. No big deal. I didn't recognize, I didn't value it. I'm saying to you, live your life being present to who you are and what your superpower is, and we have all the tools that we need to monetize it, to make it work for us. And I'm saying, don't be a volunteer victim. You've got something. You came here with something. You were chosen. God don't choose people who don't have anything going for them. There's something you have going for them. You just haven't discovered it yet. Just like me, I had a lot going for me, and for a period of time I went unemployed. For a period of time I went from being fired from one job to the other, as opposed to hiring myself, because I didn't know what I had going for me. I didn't know. And so because I didn't know, I didn't take the time to discover that. I didn't invest any time, any money, any energy, any effort to cultivate that. I didn't ask those questions. Why are you here? What are you supposed to do? How do you take that which you say that you want to do and find a way to monetize it? See, that whole thing about, Adam, where are you? Where are you? Life is the question. And how we answer the question is the answer. Where are you, Les, in relationship to who you know you should be and what you should be doing? And what are you going to do about it? I talked about Tennessee Williams, who said there comes a point in your life when you look in the mirror and who's looking back at you realizes that's all you're ever going to be. Wow, what a blow, what a punch in the gut. So fortunately, I didn't settle. There was something that was restless in me, something that said there's got to be more. Have you ever asked yourself that? There's got to be more than this. It's got to be. And I kept seeking, I kept working at it and working on the possibility of how I can reshape and redesign my life. Because the one that I was living wasn't me, and he had to go. That's why Paul said, I must die daily. That all of us know there are moments in our lives that there are parts of us, that character's got to get out of here. That does not work for me. It might work for somebody else, but that does not work for me. But for a period of time, I did not use my gift until, and don't let it take you this long, I mean my real gift. I was 37. That's a delay. My real gift. I was able to become a disc jockey, and that was good. I enjoyed that. I love that. I can be a disc jockey now. And I enjoyed being a state legislator. But speaking and motivating people, my real gift, my superpower that I used last night when they brought me on the Zoom before an audience of thousands of people, that That's the voice. That's the one. That's the Les Brown. That's his power voice. Why? Because I'm in my power. I was doing what I was supposed to do. I came here to motivate. I came here to inspire. I came here to uplift spirits. I came here to give people a larger vision of themselves. You came here to do something. You came here to make a difference. You came here to live an impactful life. You came here to leave the world in better shape than how you found it. Yes. You came here to allow people to know that what they have experienced, the abuse that they've gone through, does not have to define them. You came here as a guide, as a light, to help people use the steps and the process and the mindset that you had to navigate and bring themselves out of the valley. Yeah, you came here for something. Yeah, because you decided that what you went through would not define you. You decided that. So life is full of distractions. And so I want you to think about, what are your goals and what is it that you see for yourself in and out of the pandemic? You just saw a video. Here I am, 77, just a few months ago, about 3 months ago, I connected with my birth family, and to see a picture for the first time of my birth mother and father. This thing called life, it's just so unpredictable, and so that in the middle of all the stuff that we have to do, and the things that you have to do in terms of your personal stuff, in terms of your business and the people that's a part of your team, and all of the unexpected distractions that we just don't see coming. This is a very challenging time. And what we have to do and know is, first of all, we have to have a program for ourselves to handle what's going on. And I want you to write this down. When things go wrong, don't go with them, because they're going to go wrong. That's going to happen. And so having a strategy, a game plan, a ritual to train your mind to observe things and not buy into the things that you see, that's major now more than ever. This is no time to lose it. And so when we look at all the conflict and all the things, the confusions and the violence and the spike in suicide and politicians lying out of their necks every day and say, don't believe your lying eyes. You say, come on. This is a different kind of place. And so this is a time that you have to begin to focus on you. This lady, she was working in hospice, and she was interviewing patients who just had a few weeks to live, about 2 months to 3 months, and she asked them, what do you regret about your life? And the majority of them said that I wasn't true to myself, that I wish that I had done the things that had been true to me. It's been said that most people die unlived lives. They die a life that's not them. And so I started examining, where am I now and what am I to do with what I'm going through, just with one of my children who's bipolar schizophrenic. How do I handle that? I call FAF and say, hey, I need some help. Do you know anybody that can help me? Because here I am, can motivate people around the world, and my son, look like I made him by myself, can't hear my voice. So that's very challenging, and it's very humbling. So part of what I want to share with you, develop a ritual for you. I'm the fix-it person, but I had to begin to anchor myself in the words, Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I can't change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And if that wasn't enough, I'm at Cancer Centers of America last week, and they said, Mr. Brown, we know we gave you the Perseverance Award for 29-year prostate cancer conqueror. But we see something here, because I just said, let me just check myself out and see how things are going. And they said, your white blood cells are low. We've not seen this. And I remember reading a book called Who's the Matter with Me? And what I realized, that the shift that has taken place in my health that I'm now proactively dealing with, it is a result of stress. That I was allowing the stress, dealing with my son, dealing with the business and all my children, and all of the things that I just have to deal with. No, excuse me, not have to deal with, that I get to deal with. I want you to write this down. Operation Clean Slate. Come on, somebody. Well, I'm coming for you right now. I started saying, wait a minute. A lot of stuff that I had on my plate, it wasn't my stuff. And so I decided Operation Clean Slate. I started getting stuff off my plate, my children, my brothers and my sisters and friends. My mother had a sign, my adopted mother had a sign on her mirror, and it read, oh Lord, help me keep my nose out of other people's business. Now I understand. I want you to write this down. We live our lives forward, but we understand it looking backwards. Now I understand what Mama meant, because I was putting my nose in a lot of business that was not my business. Operation Clean Slate. So you have to sometimes stop, look, and make an assessment and ask the question, what am I to do with this? Where am I going? What's going on with me? Who am I really? Who have I been being? And I have been being Superman or Mighty Mouse. Here I come to save the day. It's Mighty Mouse. He's on his way. I said, no, I resign. I can't even call Superman to help me out. You know why? Because they eliminated the telephone booths. He can't even change clothes. I told him not to remove those telephone booths. He's not gonna risk being arrested for indecent exposure, taking off his clothes in a telephone booth. Now that's not an option. So, so here we are. And we have to deal with this stuff. And so number one, you gotta be true to yourself. You gotta have a ritual to take care of yourself. And you know this. And it's very important. And sometimes we need to be reminded of what we know. I'm getting still, and I'm reading the Bible, the Torah, the Kabbalah, the Holy Quran. I'm reading everything. When they said, Mr. Brown, your PSA, which stands for prostate specific antigen 2,400. Wow. And I say, whoa. But guess what? I got it down. I got it down to below 0. Then it went up to 4. And so I'm working on it again. But what I know is I'm minimizing the stress in my life that I brought into my life. I take responsibility for where I am and this situation. That's an opportunity to prove my discipline and my commitment of making choices, that I would be here and at 77, making the rest of my life the best of my life. And I know that many of you have decided in this mastermind, that's where you are. And because we can't do it by ourselves. And so building mental resolve. I get up early in the morning, listening to things to fortify me, to begin to strengthen myself mentally and emotionally and spiritually. Here's something else. As you begin to dig in and start thinking your life, rethinking it and looking at yourself, why is that important?
because this is a new space that requires a new skill set. Einstein said, the thinking that has brought me this far has created some problems that this thinking can't solve. And so Les Brown had to say to himself, hey, look here, if you do the same thing that got you here, that won't serve you in this new space where we are. So self-awareness is very important. Am I being me? Am I being true to myself? Am I doing the things that I need to do to keep myself on the path, to do the things that as I go forward, where I am an asset to my family and not a liability? Here's something else. Whatever your goal and dream is, I can share with you based upon my experience, it's possible and it's necessary. You got to decide, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make this happen. But not just that, but also who you have to be in order to do that. Because at the end of the day, and you know this, being with Fab, that people don't live life as it is. You live life as you are. If you're not playing with a full deck, if you are not getting a full night's sleep, if you don't have the clarity of mind to make good decisions that will serve you and your team and your family, that's going to be challenging. You become a liability. As Jim Rohn said, is your life a warning or is it an example? A warning of not to do or an example of what to do? So taking care of yourself. And I want you to write this down. Live a life, live your life, and this is where I am. And I really want you to put this someplace that you can see it. Live your life the way that you want to lead your life. I was talking to a room of entrepreneurs, and I asked them, if you knew you had just a few weeks to live, what would you do differently? And I was surprised that the majority said, I would quit my business, and they start thinking about things that they were going to do. And here's what was fascinating. There's a young lady in there named Pauline Ahi. Pauline was born with no arms and no legs. And so as I was passing her table in this training I was doing, someone said, did you hear what Les said? Write down the things that you would do differently if you knew you just had a few weeks to live. She said, yes, I heard him. And what most of them did at the table, they talked about quitting their business and start traveling and just doing a variety of things. And what she said, I would continue to be me. And when they heard her say that, these people who had written out all the things that they had taken on and all the things that they said that they would step away from, they began to rethink themselves. And I asked also the second follow-up question, what are the biggest challenges that you're facing right now? Pauline did not have one thing on her paper. No arms, no legs, married with children. And they asked, you gotta have some problem. You don't have no arms. You don't have no legs. That's gotta be very challenging. He said, I don't have no challenge. I find a way to live life on my terms. Whoa. That's major. She said, I've set my life up, my environment, the people in my life, the things that I'm doing. There's nothing that I'm doing that's outside of what I want to do. I'm doing the stuff that's me. I'm being true to me. That's some lesson in that. See, if I knew I had a few weeks to live, I'd do more Zooms and give more motivational speeches. I told my kids that they tell you I'm dead, don't let them embalm me for 3 days. Sneak in there and put a microphone in my head and my hand in the morgue. And if I don't grab it and say, you gotta be hungry, you call your brothers His sister say, Dad's gone. Yeah, but, and if my cats could give me a microphone or some Colonel Sanders chicken, I'll be fine. This thing called life. So just determining who are you now and who is it you need to be for this vision that you see of yourself, because life is very challenging. It's sometimes up, sometimes down. Sometimes things go well, and sometimes they don't go so well. It's a roller coaster. And so be true to you and decide the things that you envision for yourself, the reason that you're there, the goals that you've set, the relationships that you're building. Make sure that it represents who you are and the things that you envision. You got to have a mindset that I'm going to do this, just like we got started out. Some stuff happened. It's called life. Think it not strange that you're faced the fiery furnaces of this world. You will, not you might. You will have tribulations. Here's something else. Determine what is it that you really want. That's major. What do I really want? And when I started practicing, and I got this from a friend of mine, business partner, Celeste Johnson, Operation Clean Slate, I took a lot of things off my plate, and I'm focusing on doing those things that's in my heart. Where your heart is, there your treasure is also. Spending more time with my children and my grandchildren and my 4 great-grandsons. And so when you look at the things that you want, creating special moments, it's been said, is not the number of breaths that you take, but the number of breaths that takes, the number of moments that you create that takes your breath away. And that's what I'm looking at and focusing on. I remember when I read this article about Howard Hughes, who at that time was the wealthiest man in the world, and they were trying to rush him someplace on an airplane, and he died. And someone asked the question, how much did he leave? And somebody answered, all of it. And so when we look at ourselves, we got to ask, what's really important? Making a decision, and this time that you're there to rethink your life. What's necessary for you that you want to do before you check out? I remember being at Caesar's Palace, and Frank Sinatra was at a table seated next to me, and at that time I was married to Gladys Knight. I was the conductor of the midnight train. Come on now. I was one of the pips. I was the conductor. Come on. And I heard him say to a young man, live each day as if it were your last, because one day it will be. And so, and I want you to write this down. And this is a biggie for me right now. A friend of mine, Samantha, and I said, how you doing? And she sounded so bubbly and so happy. I say, what's going on with you? Why are you so bubbly and happy? And I haven't seen you in a minute. She said, well, the reason I am, and I'm like this every day. And I said, why? She said, this is a non-refundable day. Whoa. I don't have the time to be depressed and stressed out. It's non-refundable. I'm going to make the best of it. I hear you talking about making the rest of your life the best of your life. She said, that's real, because each moment, each day is non-refundable. I reminded myself that every hour, the time that I invest, the conversations that I have. I won't take a phone call unless it's positive, unless it's purposeful, unless it's productive, unless it's going in the direction of where I'm going. I'm not just going to give my time away. I'm 77. No, homie ain't playing that. I'm going to leave my life the way I wanted to do something more meaningful and make a greater impact. I still have some more in me. Simba, you're more than that which you have become. I still believe, and I'm sure some of you believe, that you still have some more in you, that the best is yet to come. Here's something else. Your why. What has driven me and caused me to become the person that I am was I wanted to take care of my adopted mother. You know, my birth mother, she gave me life, but my adopted mother, she taught me how to live life. I feel like Abraham Lincoln said, all that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I owe to my mother. And Mama, she was always engaged in life. She was always looking for ways that she could do something differently. It was not unusual for us to come home and Mama, as small as our house was, that she had reconfigured the furniture in the house. And I remember one time coming home and there was a big window in the living room leaning up against the wall. And I said, Mama, why do you have this window here? Well, they tore this house down and you say you're gonna get me a home. Well, I got this window, so if you're gonna build me a home, I got a window that could fit. I said, no, man, I'm not gonna buy a home that don't have windows in every room. Come on. And she most certainly accelerated me to getting the home that I promised her that I would get for her. But she had the vision saying, I'm going to participate in this and what you're going to do. I'm going to do my part. And so what reason you're here, you've decided, hey, I got something else I want to do. You've got some bigger goals that you want to achieve. And write this down. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. I got 3 brothers, 2 that I didn't know. And they look at me and say, whoa, how is it possible? You're just like our birth mother, and you didn't know her. And our grandmother, and you didn't know either one, didn't see them. How is it possible you're just like them? And the reason is, one, they didn't have any goals beyond their comfort zone, and still don't. And they're fine with that, and that's okay. And the other thing is that people say, well, it's in your genes. No. I remember spending a whole day with Maya Angelou, and Maya Angelou said, it aggravates me when people say I'm a natural communicator. She said, show me a natural heart surgeon. She said, no, I'm trained. And so if they put in the effort and the time like you're doing to get training and upgrade my knowledge, my relationships, expand my vision and dreams, I would be living just a non-consequential life. I didn't want that. The reason you are there, that you want to make a greater impact with your business, with the people that you're working with, to bring out the best in them, but also be the model, not just the messenger, but the message that you want to bring out the best in yourself, to challenge yourself. Iron sharpening iron. That's why you're there, creating collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. That's why you're there. You know there's something in you that says, this is not just it for me. There is more for me. People can be distracted by what's going on in Ukraine, by what's going on with the virus. But as for me, I know that this is my life right now. There is no duplicate, and I want to maximize it. Give yourselves a round of applause for reaching for your greatness. Do that right now.
Warner, what will it take for us to beat the Russians to the moon? What will it take for man to go to the moon? And I want to say to you, when you think about your life, you think about where you are right now. You might be facing eviction, foreclosure, losing your job, losing your business, losing your relationship, whatever it is. These 5 words, you want to keep in your mind. Warner said 5 words: the will to do it. And set back and didn't say a word. And everybody looking. And the president looked at him like, is there something else? The will to do it. What will it take when you put all your money, everything, money you borrowed, money you didn't have in a business, and because of external circumstances that had nothing to do with you, customers are no longer coming in, people are fearful of their lives. What will it take for you to pick up the pieces and start all over again? The will to do it. I changed it to the hunger to do it. What will it take when you have given everything you have to a relationship? You love someone and the two of you made a pact that you go to college first and I will pay for you to go and I'll take care of the bills. And then that person decide they met someone else, and after they've graduated, they married that person and don't want to be with you anymore. What will it take for you not to have a nervous breakdown? What will it take for you not to get in an orange jumpsuit when you find that sucker? What will it take for you to pick up the pieces, to regroup your thinking and start all over again and move on with your life? The hunger to do it. The hunger to do it. That's what it's going to take. That's why I wrote my book. You got to be hungry. You got to be hungry. I had so many times I could have given up. I built my career on no. Who are you? You're nobody. Who are you? You're nobody. Hi, I got a story. Let me mail it to me. Let me see what you got. Mail us something. Let me see your story. Send us something. Send us one of your recordings and let us see that and listen to it. We'll give you a call. It ain't called. Send me a letter. Mr. Brown, you got a very inspiring story, but you're black. We don't believe America is ready for a black motivational speaker. That was the letter. I was taken aback. And then the Mamie Brown in me came out, and I wrote them back. Thank you very much for your response. Thanking you for the opportunity for you to have looked at my materials. And thank you for reminding me that I'm black. I never would have known that if you had not told me. I'll see you from the top. See, it's lonely at the top, but you eat better. Hello? I never stopped working. I'm gonna go put my fate in their hands because they gave Tony Robbins $1 million every hour to have him on television around the world, and I didn't have any investors. I wasn't gonna stop. Mamie Brown did not stop when the M&M cafeteria said, Mamie, you can't do this kind of work anymore. You're taking too many breaks. Your legs are swollen. You can't do this anymore. Mama didn't stop and say, you know what? I need y'all to pack your things up. We're going to take you back down to the welfare department. I can't do this. My mother did not stop. She said, I adopted 7. I will take care of 7. We never went to sleep without food on the table, even when she couldn't eat, with clothes on our back, a roof over our head. She didn't stop working. W, the willingness to do what is required. Whosoever will, let him come. O, optimism. Having a spirit of optimism. No matter how bad things are, or how bad things get, we are going to make it. R, reinvent yourself. Your best thinking has brought you to where you are. Your true thinking can take you where you want to go. And K, kindred spirits. Talk to people. Ask for help, not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong. And ask for help and don't stop until you get it. Joe, how are you? I've got these 7 children. I need some groceries. You know, I give my word. I'm baking sweet potato pies and I'm doing ironing now and washing clothes and fixing dinners for people. I give you my word. I will pay you. Mamie, I know you will. I'll give you the credit. Hey, find a way. There's no time to be depressed. We're not given the luxury of that. It's no time to sit back and complain about why are they playing politics with this relief situation. Come on, why are they playing politics? What's wrong with Nancy Pelosi and McConnell? Why can't they get this thing together? It's not about them. It's about you. If the politicians are cooperative and care about us and have compassion for us, that will help. If they would be willing to release funding that we are entitled to as Americans because the government dropped the ball when it came to this coronavirus and is devastating our lives in so many ways. And if they took ownership and say, you know what, we really need to step up our game, looking out for the American public, saving lives, and see that they are taken care of with their tax dollars. And let's not give it all to the wealthy people. People don't need any money anyhow. No, let's do the right thing. The least that you do unto these, my brethren, do it also unto me. And let's put away the finger pointing. All right, let's forget all that. Let's look out for the people that we serve. That will help. But the major key to your and my future, the major key to you and my being able to put our lives together, to get up and move forward, the major key to creating the next greatest version of ourselves and looking out for our families and improving our lives and our community. A major key is you. It's me. It's all of us. We have to decide that we're going to take responsibility. If the politicians cooperated in the process, that would help. But if they don't, we will not be sitting around outside of Walgreens or Walmart with a cup in our hands looking for a handout. No, we'll figure it out. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. We'll figure it out. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. We will figure it out. You have something special. You have greatness in you. And many times the things that appear, and I can't say this enough, to happen to us, they happen for us. That's why Viktor Frankl, in his book called Man's Search for Meaning, adversity introduces a man or woman to themselves. That's when you find out what you're made of. That's when you find out. It doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It doesn't happen when your mortgage or your rent or your lease is paid, your car note is taken care of, you got money in the bank, your marriage is working out fine, you're circling the block, saying, oh God, do I have to go in there? Hoping they're asleep. No, 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 no. When life knocks on your door, you have to look at the man in the mirror or the woman in the mirror. When things happen that it follows you around all day, 24/7, you go to bed with it, and during your sleep, you can't get a good night's sleep, and you wake up. Hey, why am I waking up 3:30 in the morning? The angels are trying to talk to you because there's something coming for you. They're trying to wake you up. Can't they come at 8 o'clock? I'm limited as to where I can go. Why do they have to come at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock? What's up with that? That's just the way it is. It sent Tyrone to wake you up. This thing called life. Bob Marley had a point. You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. And you're strong. You've been given authority and dominion. You're strong on everything on the face of the earth. You are strong.